All right, what's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva, and I am back here again for another review and discussion on our favorite show of the summer for the past 4 seasons, and that would be Stars Power. Season 4, Episode 2. Things are going to get worse. And based on this episode, yeah, things are getting really bad. Ghost and Tommy are facing prosecution. They still, for some reason, think that Tommy is Ghost, which I can see why, because it's a white dude. Ghost, Casper, yeah, that type of thing. Ghost could get the needle because Sandoval is still running around being dirty. Angela has discovered that it is in fact a man's world after all, and that these men that you sit at the table and try to beg and jock for a place at the table, honestly, honey, I hate to say it, they don't give two fucks about you, and they shouldn't, because you done screwed up the integrity of not only the case, but also of their office in general, and you are a disgrace to the practice of law. Although Sandoval is coming in tight first compared to you. So let's get into it. When we open up the episode, you know, when we left off, Ghost was being harassed and accused of not cooperating as a prisoner, and Charlie Murphy and his friend gave him a beatdown, so he's recovering from that. Meanwhile, Tasha is trying to hold down the fort with their children, talking to badass Tariq and sweet Raina. I'm telling y'all, like somebody said on Twitter, Tariq make folk not want to have kids. My thing with Tariq is he needs to get some sense about him. So you know he ain't street smart. He trying to be hard and impress a grown-ass man he just met. But she's basically telling them that their father didn't murder anyone and that he wasn't going to be coming back home. And Tariq like, well, since he not coming back home, that means he did it. And Tasha is really just trying to tell him, look, we're a family. We're going to hold it down. No matter what happens with your dad, he would never murder anyone. And then Raina was like, yeah, Tariq, stop being stupid. And I was like, please stop being stupid. Because let's all just realize that Tariq is stuck on stupid. How is it that you're going to befriend a man who tells you that your daddy is horrible, but he got you hooked on drugs, and his name is Slim? Okay, how that work? Really, Tariq? Then on top of that, you still talking to him. Your mama done told you not to hang out with him. Honestly, I think the best thing that Tasha can do for her son at this time to keep him safe is to basically just send him off to boarding school. Don't say nothing. Just pack his stuff and put him on the plane to Switzerland. Because Slim is going to keep coming. Because somebody was like, well, boarding school would be the great idea, but Slim would find something. No, don't say nothing. Just put him in there. Then when she asked him about Kanan, I thought that was interesting because remember last week I said that I think that Tommy and Tasha believe that Kanan might potentially still be alive and he might be the friend known as Slim. They haven't said it, but it's kind of an unspoken thing. Also, Ghost or James St. Patrick may not be Father of the Year, but he works very hard to provide for his family. You're going to one of the best schools in the country, and now you want to be all street learning how to rob and steal. Some father figure Slim is for you. Oh, and remember at one point during the show, Tariq asked Slim, who we know is Kanan, hey, have you ever heard of somebody named Kanan? And he was like, oh yeah, that fool, you know, he dead though. I was like, he is dead, all right. He came back resurrected as you, aka Slim. So Tariq really needs to get some wit about him. I will say though, that street cred is working for him, because them white boys at this school walked up on him after the mom had given him a lecture about not talking to anybody about the case. He was like, say, so that gun you brought to school, Tariq, was that the gun that your daddy used to kill the FBI agent? And Tariq was like, maybe. I was like, this fool high on lean right now. But either way, Raina was like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I was like, Raina, girl, get to the bottom of what's going on. As a matter of fact, I think Raina going to end up following her brother one day, and she's going to end up finding out who Slim really is. I just hope that she doesn't end up in danger. Meanwhile, Keisha and Tommy, as you know, Tommy was supposed to murder Keisha, but of course he could never do that to his beloved Tasha, who's like his big sister or his sis, period. And Keisha and Tommy seem to be getting a little friendly. What's up with that? So Keisha rolls up and she was like, I'm sorry, but you and Tasha and y'all's drug running days are up at my shop. These folk down here, Angela Valdez, that showed up down to the penthouse talking about she want everything. She gonna take people down, and I'm not here for it. I got a son to think about. I mean, I know you ain't got kids, and that's when I kind of was like, oh, hell, you mentioned kids, because Hollywood's pregnant, and well, she ain't there. She ain't around no more. So I think that kind of touched Tommy. But Tommy and Keisha end up getting together in this episode. We're just going to go ahead and wrap their storyline up right now. So I don't know if she's at her own apartment or what. I guess he was asking her son there or something. But either way, they end up getting together. So, ooh, it's getting hot in here. Tommy and Keisha sitting in a tree. And somebody posted a meme, and I'm going to post it right here, asking, show me where Carmelo hurt you. I said, y'all know y'all wrong for that. Y'all are so wrong for that. My girl on Instagram, Sky Deuce, posted that one. Meanwhile, trial prep is going on between the defense and prosecution for James St. Patrick's case and the murder of Greg Knox. Now, Angela is late for this meeting, and it's kind of good that she is late for this meeting because she overhears the men folk talking about how Angela don't need to be nowhere near the case. We should just throw her under the bus. It would serve her right. She's messed up the integrity of this case. He said if she gets Sachs, the white dude, Cooper Sachs, goes, well, if Angela gets disbarred, it'll be a small price to pay. And so they were like, basically, she can't even get on the stand because now the department is going to look suspect and it's going to ruin the case as a whole. So Angela hears all this, and this is why I now believe that Angela possibly will flip for Ghost. You can't tell me that she still don't love Ghost. I mean, he was putting it on her, honey. She was putting her job on the line for him, letting him, they living together. He got access to files and things. I'm just like, girl. And then she really is pushing to try to get a seat at the table. But when she comes in, you know, she plays on tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm late, y'all. So she comes in and says she's sorry you're late. And of course, they go back to business as usual. Turtle was doing a really good job. Let me stop calling him Turtle. Y'all know he was on Entourage. I call him Turtle. But Joseph Proctor Joe Proctor is a damn good attorney. So when he got to the question, when he was asking James about whether he had murdered anyone, or asking about Greg Knox, he was like, I would never murder an FBI agent. And then he was like, but have you ever murdered anyone? Because that's what they're going to come at you with. They want to put the sexual relationship of Ghost and Angela on trial because it adds a little flavor to it, but at the same time, it's a fine line. Either way, I basically don't think that Angela Valdez should be anywhere near the trial prep. I believe that the Asian dude is doing a great job of trying to keep her out of it. At the end of the trial prep, as they do these parallels with Angela being prepped, James being prepped, is determined that it's best not to put them on the stand, which I think it is, because one of the things that disturbed me is the fact that James froze up. He said, I never killed an FBI agent. And I don't know if this is true, but I know, or just in trial practice, but if you've ever perjured yourself, once you perjure yourself, you can never get on and take the stand in your defense, which I guess you could, but it's always on record that you are a perjurer. So I don't know. That's what Joe told him. So if he can't be honest about the fact that he's never killed anyone, which he can't, because we all know Ghost has killed people time and time again. But in both cases, for Angela and James, or Jamie, it's determined that there is a strong possibility for perjury, and they don't want that to happen because dude is upset, we learned, that because he doesn't want to lose to Joe Proctor. Apparently it's been competitive for years. I also was confused at one point during the show when there was a grand. I said, wait a minute, they're not picking jurors. I said, that's a grand juror, because in grand jury trials what happens is that, or the presentation of evidence is given to a grand jury that is impaneled to determine whether charges can be brought. Now, in basic trial practice, let's just be real. I learned that they can indict a damn ham sandwich if they want to. You have flimsy evidence, and on that evidence that you present to these people, they can determine that yes, there is a possibility that what you're claiming has occurred has happened. So now they're trying to bring a case against Tommy Egan as Ghost again, and trying to say that he murdered Greg Knox to protect James St. Patrick, or however. It's very confusing. Proctor, meanwhile, is working his magic with the press. He basically played the race card. He said that he doesn't like to play the race card, but in this case, it is apparent that they are going after him because he is a clean-cut businessman. Okay, and so John got mad, and then they tried to get a gag order, and Judge Tapper, who's overseeing the case during this time, he was just like, let's just be real, John, the Asian dude he was talking to. He was like, every time we look up, as soon as the cameras pop up, there you go. So my thing is, it's tit for tat. You need to get in the game. I was like, I love it. My other thing was, why the hell was Angela in this out of court hearing? Why was she there? What is she doing there? Girl, you need to get out of that because you have no business being part of the conversation of anything that's going on. Dre is really, I was rooting for Dre, but I think Dre gonna die by the gun. I'm like, we already know Tommy batshit crazy, so I don't know, and we know Kanan is a cruddy dude. Any man that murders his son is capable of murdering even his own mama, okay? So I don't know why Dre would think he would be any different. Yeah, so I don't really see it for Dre, but Dre trying to come up with that $50,000, is it $50,000 a week he has to pay out to everyone? I don't know, but he is really trying to cover himself. They're doing something with the receipts where they're giving people some sort of matchbox or something, and if they order 2 bottles, just bring out 1 bottle and then stash the other. So I'm like, what are y'all selling this in the back street in the black market? I mean, what's really going on here? So I think it's just a matter of time before all of his dirty work gets caught up, because we see Kanan rolls up on him too and tells him, at this point, you're not paying to keep the kid alive. You paying to keep yourself alive. I was like, see there? Now you know. You should have told Tommy who Slim really was and told him, by the way, Kanan is still very much alive. But you didn't. So y'all, I don't know how much longer Rotimi, aka Dre, gonna be on power, but Godspeed to him. Julio, Tommy, all of them. What is his name? Diablo? I can't remember. Either way, it was some nice looking Latino men on this episode. Not the pit bull looking one that learned his lesson from Tommy. But Julio, everyone's really shook by the fact that Ghost has been pinched by the feds, and so of course everyone's wondering, is he gonna flip? Now Tommy knows good and hell well that his buddy Ghost, his brother, will never flip, okay? But everyone else is shook, and they're trying to find new distributors and that type of thing. Tommy ends up letting him, this Latino dude, I'm just gonna call him Diego because I can't remember what his name is. But what was funny is that Julio really, really loves Ghost like a brother too, because apparently Ghost has done so much for him. And he was like, I really want to wonder when I can go see him. And then Tommy was like, I don't know, maybe you can get a conjugal visit. I was like, Tommy, stop being an ass. You know you wrong for that, but whatever. Ghost is in jail trying to hold it down, like I said earlier. However, like I said, there's always at least one ninja that want to push up on somebody and show them who's boss. You one of them rich boys, ain't you? You own all them clubs. You got money. Yeah, I'm still hungry. He took James' biscuit. I was like, look at this butter biscuit ninja. Boy, if you don't go sit down, but Ghost had to show him, look, I'm going to do this on the low. I think he broke his hand. But then suspiciously, mob boss Tony was like, hey, that's enough. And I was like, who this old, I know Ghost was like, who this old white man? So I'm still trying to figure out the connection there with mob boss Tony. But I think in some ways, they kind of told us who mob boss Tony is, or mobster Tony is what I'm going to call him. Last week, if you remember, John, the Asian prosecutor, dropped his case against Tony to go work on the case against James St. Patrick because it's an opportunity for him to go up against Joe Proctor, who apparently he has a history of losing cases. Now we know that Tony's wife is sick unto death with cancer. She comes to see him and she says, I don't know if I can come ever again and see you. This will be the last time because I'm so sick. The doctor said that he can get me on this clinical trial, but he needs the money. And he was like, the money's not going to come. I'll figure out another way how to get the money to you. She then makes a statement. She says, I wish that I had given you children. I wish I had given you a son, because that's who could be taking care of me while you're here on the inside. And in my mind, I'm like, girl, ain't no guarantee, because if his son was about that life too, both of them, they could be sellers. They could be sharing a cell. Some kind of way he was, I don't know if that was his attorney or a friend, but they were talking about Tommy Egan. And he was like, what neighborhood are these boys from? And he was like, the Bronx and whatever neighborhood they grew up in. So I think Tommy Egan's daddy is mobster Tony. What y'all think? One or two things are going to happen here. Either Tommy is his son and he sees that as his son being able to get money out of him to pay for his wife to be good, because you can tell he really loves his wife even though he's about that corrupt life. Or two, are they sending his wife to try to turn him just so he can get out? Because remember last week he was like, even if I snitch, I will be, and what if my wife dies? She's going to die anyway. I'm still going to be labeled a snitch for life. So I'm curious about that. Dre standing there feeling so empowered. You know, he just glad he part of the scene. He can probably become a legit businessman too if he can just get off the streets and separate himself from their life. But the FBI coming there with the warrant. Problem is Sandoval with them, because there was something that tipped him off about the evidence. Because they were like, it's all about the evidence. We need our evidence to be airtight in order to get a prosecution against James St. Patrick. So Sandoval goes into the office, which I think is so stupid, because I'm like, you do know that there's cameras in Ghost's office. So why would you plant evidence there? Of course, black dude finds it, the black FBI dude. He finds it, and I can't remember how it came about. I don't know if that was the gun that they think killed Greg, or who, or is it Tommy's gun? I don't know. Either way, it's crazy. It don't make any sense, and I'm like, I hope that Dre is the one to check them cameras, because that may be his get out of death card free. I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about that. Tariq once again needs his ass beat. He don't want to go see his dad in prison. Bump that. You going to go see your daddy. Shut the hell up, Tariq, and let's send your ass off to boarding school. Also, I was very happy to see baby girl, because you know Tasha and James have 2 children. I mean 3 kids. Notice I said they got 2, because for the longest I was like, where's baby girl? Because we know they got a little girl, but where is she? Did they write her out the script like they did Judy on Family Matters? But she was at the jail too. I said, these poor baby, they gonna be traumatized going to see their daddy in a cage. Tariq thinks the parents are all liars. His parents both are liars. Well, they are lying to protect you. They lying to keep you safe. Oh, and did y'all see how Tasha handled up on that daggone paparazzi dude? She broke his camera. I was like, you gonna have to pay for that. And then I think Tariq said something slick when he was getting out of the car about, really, that's how you act. And I'm just like, all your mother is trying to do, because she is a mother cub, she is trying to protect your dumb ass. Oh, Tariq really makes me not want kids, like, ever. There's a meeting that Julio and 2 of his homeboys have with the Latino crew, and some big bulldog looking dude stepped to the black dude when he was trying to get out of pocket and stole the black dude and Julio's crew to the face. And the Mexican dude that was his boss had him back because he's like, dude, you can't be stealing people in the face like that. Tommy finds out about this and is upset that Julio didn't do anything to correct what happened, because don't nobody disrespect his crew, okay? Next thing you know, after Tommy got him a little sugar from the Keisha shack, okay, He goes and finds Pitbull looking dude. And Pitbull, I'm like, in the life that you lead, you should be on alert 24/7. You never know who gonna get you in your little Dodge Charge or whatever, the little Dodge Dart, whatever it was he was in. Tommy showed up, clicked that gun, told him, I want you to run. Click, run. I was like, oh, Tommy. And so Courtney Kemp was talking about that, talking about everybody know that he's crazy and it's just a loose cannon. So we kind of expect that from Tommy. He chased him down, ran him down with his own damn car, and drove off. And that dude was left in the middle of the street. He's still alive. No vital organs injured. But I was like, damn, dude, you need to go see an orthopedic surgeon about that bone that's coming out your hip like that. You know, I mean, your thigh area. That's just wrong. So we know Tommy crazy. So Sandoval planted evidence. We talked about that. Tommy is pissed with Julio for not stepping up. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen to Julio. I don't know if he's going to get like a finger missing. Keisha's wondering about Holly and what happened to her. Because she was like, you still got her around even after she stole Tasha's earrings. And he was like, oh, she left me. Or he left her or whatever. During the grand jury, one thing I like about Joe Proctor, he got people in his pocket. And the grand jury bailiff was the one to let him know they were coming for Tommy. Tommy told Joe if this shit goes south, as he was serving him his latest cocaine that he needed for his ex-wife or a strange wife who's hooked on coke. He said, I'm going to kill you. Trust and believe Tommy is true because we see he crazy. He just a loose cannon. I mean, because after dude got left in the street, I said, I bet you would think twice about disrespecting the organization, especially when you staring down the barrel of a Colt 45, okay? I don't know what that was. Y'all know I only know about 9mm and random other guns that we don't even as U.S. citizens get to handle. But if you're in the military, you get wonderful things like grenade launchers and machine guns, like a Mark 19. Saw. No, the Mark 19 was the grenade launcher. The Saw was the machine gun that was replacing the, hell, I forgot now. I just know the shit is heavy as hell. Anyways, let me get back on topic. Now, I don't know. Here's the thing, because I couldn't remember what dude looked like that mobster Tony was talking to, but Tommy drove his car to his house, parks it, and a dude comes up and puts a tracker on it. And one of the people that was conversating with me was like, I didn't think that was legal that you could track people. I was like, if they have a warrant, they can do whatever the hell they want to, because if it's a federal investigation or any type of investigation, if there is substantial suspicion to believe that whatever is going on will help a case, then they're definitely going to put a tracker on you. And it seems to me that since Proctor had warned Tommy about that, that's when Tommy was like, well, let me get rid of my car because everyone on the street knows my car. So I don't know if it was the feds or was it mobster Tony's people that put a tracker on his car, but I'm pretty sure it was the feds. So his coked out mama showed up and it was so funny because she was like, ooh, I'm so glad you got rid of Holly. I don't know what to do. And he was like, yeah, I got rid of her, Ma. I was like, yeah, Ma. He got rid of her all right. She's sleeping with the fishes down there to the Hudson. The saddest thing about this episode, but I know that James St. Patrick will live. He will not be convicted. But it's just scary to know that some kind of way, John always says, he gonna get the needle for killing Greg. And so Proctor has to come and tell his client that, look, you facing the death penalty and this is what's gonna have to go down. You might have to flip on Tommy. But of course we know Ghost is never gonna flip on Tommy. The family learns that he's going to be getting the needle. We see in the previews Lorena is very, very upset that her father is possibly facing death, but he says he's not going to die, and I believe that. I honestly believe that the key to this whole thing is, one, Sandoval may break down and confess with the guilt that he feels for somebody having to take the rap for him. He seems to be having a battle with his morals, based upon his actions and how he always looks stunned and scared and like, maybe I need to rethink how I'm doing this. Or Angela, who is pissed off by the fact that they don't mind throwing her under the bus and sacrificing her. She's done it before for Ghost, and I'm pretty sure she'll be willing to do it again for her beloved Jamie. Someone even predicted that possibly Jamie and Angela will get back together and Tasha will end up sleeping with Tommy, and once again Keisha will be alone. I hope not. I seriously doubt that. All I can say is that sometimes James Ghost St. Patrick, sometimes you gotta leave your past in the past. Just leave it. Leave it. Just leave it. Don't look back. You're gonna turn into a pillar of salt. Okay, just keep going. Just keep going. Get the hell away from Angela. She's poison. Another thing that happened in this episode is the fact that when Proctor was doing this whole TV blitz campaign against the federal prosecutor's office, he was saying how they were sitting around the table at the prosecutor's office. Well, how can they say they were playing the race card when none of us in this room are white? And then Sykes was like, but I am. And they were just like, whatever, Sykes. And he said, well, we do have one black friend. And then they looked at the black FBI and he was like, I don't do cameras. I was like, this is too much. Y'all are stupid. Because, you got an Asian, a Latino. You got two Latinos, even though Angela shouldn't be there. You got the black dude. And, yeah, that's pretty much what we got. Tasha goes to confront Angela about the fact that James is getting a needle. And, even Angela seems to have a little bit of remorse, which I think is why I think she might turn. I don't know. What y'all think? But what I did know is that Tasha didn't know that at the time that she came in Truth, when Angela came into Truth that night, that she was like, I had a boyfriend and his name was Greg Knox. And Tasha was like, what? Because she's like, I don't think that he's capable. He would never kill a cop. And so she'd be surprised. She was like, because, Greg was my boyfriend. So she's trying to make Tasha believe that James was so obsessed with her that he would actually turn and kill somebody for her. And I'm like, girl, your cootie cat ain't that good, okay, to make him kill for you. His kids, yeah, but not for you. In this episode, Tommy learned about Sean and Tasha, and Keisha was like, that was no big deal because she took Sean from me. I thought we were going to be together, but he ended up getting with her. And Ghost knew about it, but he didn't even care because he was too far up Angela's ass. The other sad part in this story is when the collect call came to Tommy from James to ask him, will you take care of my family? Because I'm facing the death penalty. And of course, Tommy's going to do that. He's going to always be there for them. I did enjoy this episode. It is a bit shocking. Courtney Kemp, you're wrong. You got us all nervous and shook, and we don't know what's going to happen. Don't let nothing happen to Ghost. I do want Kanan to be found out. So that concludes my review. Be sure to thumbs up this video. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Comment. Let's talk about some of the things that happened. What do you think are some of the predictions for this season? That's all the Diva has. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all of my subscribers. My YouTube channel is growing daily, so I appreciate that. Thank you for joining. You've been all that, and I have been Miss Afia the Diva.